Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. I am in Koh Samui Island at the moment, 6:30 in the morning, and today is literally a real special day for me. I am for the third time in my life since I started this journey. I am on my day 80 on, I would say, liquidarian diet, mostly juice feast, but since 3 days I start also to drink some broth, green veggie and herbs broth, but I will make a special other video talking about that, because in this video I want to share my story with all of you. Hopefully it can be useful for someone, can be inspire someone, because yes, we can stay in the path. We can say 100% raw vegan and fruitarian. Yes, we can do. And I want to be an example for everyone. I would love, I try, because this world deserve to be healed. So all together we can do that, sharing our story. So that's why this morning, 6:30 in the morning, I'm here. I got inspired from raw alchemy to share my story, and here we are. Let's start from the beginning. So my name is Annabella, for people that they don't know me. I am 39 years old. I'm from Italy, but I live in Thailand. I live in Koh Phangan Island. Now I'm in Samui for a short holiday and visa since 4 years already. I started this raw journey without know basically anything about fruitarianism, about raw vegan diet, about detox, nothing. At the beginning I was just follow my body, because I was really sick. For all of my life I had been really sick for the entire of my life, but not, I wouldn't say sick that I couldn't go to work or I couldn't functionally properly. No, I just had a lot of symptoms, and I was just get used to that symptom, because the normal Western medicine, they just give you things to suppress the symptoms. And so I would just keep going with my life, functionally properly, doing my things, but totally sick. Now I can say totally sick with a lot of symptoms, and now I'm gonna explain to you. The funny things, it was like that my background is like a psychologist. I treat trauma. My specialization is eating disorder and addiction, and I use EMDR therapy to help people to release this trauma. So I had been working in this field for 12 years, and I was always taking care about others, and I was losing myself, with all these symptoms, suppressing the symptoms, taking medicine. But let's start from the beginning. So at that time, this is saved my life, like my parents said, but everything started from there for me. So my lymphatic circulation started to get destroyed. So then when I was adolescent, around age of let's say 15, I start to have a huge, crazy acne problem, and that's happened because my lymphatic circulation wasn't functionally already properly. Because I mean, for all of my childhood, I was literally sick all the time, sick always and all the time. Basically, I got all the let's say child illness, like they called, you know. I was literally sick, and I remember I was just asking to my mom to be fed with veggie and fruits, but of course, I mean, I don't want to blame anyone. I'm not here to blame really anyone. I'm just here to share, because everyone does the best according to their understanding all the time. So I'm just here to share and to collect my story and to have my memory. So I would say I was just sick because of the diet that I was that my parents used to feed me. Like, I mean, of course, I grew up like omnivores, and so meat, fish, pizza, pasta, classical Italian family. You need to eat, you need to eat. And so I was totally always sick. And in adolescent, my sickness became acne. And I remember I was suffering so much about my acne problem. I was literally getting crazy. I was crying every day. I was like, okay, also for social problem, you know, everyone was like bullying me for acne. They was joking me, and so I got really depressed for this problem. And so after 2 years looking for a solution, I would say, unfortunately, start. But now I can say it was my likeness, actually, because thanks to what I did, I'm here in this raw vegan path. Yeah, exactly, it's like that. So on my age 18, I was so desperate that I went to visit a dermatologist, and I was desperate for acne, and they gave me pills. So taking antibiotics and pills to treat my acne from my age 18 to my age 28 years old, like fed up my kidney, my lymphatic circulation, and of course suppress the symptoms. For 10 years I poisoned myself with this. But at that time, I can tell you, it was the best thing for me, because I was totally different, and I couldn't hold and manage, especially the part where you need to be beautiful, you need to be perfect. I was an adolescent, you know, so at that time I did my best, and I was so different that it was the best decision for me at that time. And now I'm just paying my bill. So yeah, when I was 28, my mother got a breast cancer, and so I got scared about that, and thanks to what happened to my mother died for a breast cancer 5 years later when she got the diagnosis. So I stopped to taking pills and antibiotics, and of course all the problems, acne problems, came back to me because I was just covering my symptoms. Plus, while I was taking pills and antibiotics, start also my huge legs problem. So I was always skinny in my life with these huge, big, swollen ankles. You can imagine, I was 25 years old when everything started with my legs, and I couldn't stand up more than 1 hour. I was so young, but I couldn't stand up more than 1 hour without feel pain on my ankles and without see my ankles became very swollen. So I was literally suffering from that problem, but I didn't know what to do because, of course, that problem came from all the medicine all the things that I was taking. But at the same time, I was like a kind of addicted to that because I just want to be beautiful, a normal adolescent, a normal teenager, you know. So I scared. I knew that everything was because of what I was doing, but I wasn't be able to stop it at the time. So I got two problems: swollen legs, and I will show you a picture in this video, and acne problems. Now I can tell you that everything was because of my poor lymphatic stagnation circulation, because what happened to my kidney, probably my father and my mother got the same problem, so lymphatic problem, stagnation. And so I think I was born with this weakness. Yeah, so when I was 32 years old, my mother died for a cancer, for a breast cancer, and this is make me like I wanna change. I don't wanna do the same mistake that my mother did. I wanna be different. I wanna heal myself in a different way. So I start to do some research, but I still had this problem. Huge, of course, the acne came back, so I had this huge acne problem. So I was desperate. Plus swollen legs, swollen ankles. Literally, it was like crazy. And I went from a doctor to another doctor asking for a solution, looking for a solution. And I remember one time, that was the last time, and after the time I stopped to look at the solution in the normal medicine. One more time, I'm not here to blame anyone, I'm just sharing my story. So, but I remember that day, I thought, okay, they cannot help me in the way that I'm looking for. I need to find a solution in a different way. And so I stopped to look at the solution in the Western culture. Because they told me, for your problem, you need just to keep going with the pills. And for your swollen ankles, you can think about to do liposuction to remove all the fat that you have in your ankles. And for me, didn't resonate, at all, what they say to me. I was like in shock. I was like, I'm skinny. I was 1 meter, I'm 1 meter 55 centimeters, very petite girl, petite woman. And I was always 44 kilos, 43 kilos, so always very skinny in my life. And when they told me you need to do liposuction, I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. And so I stopped for a solution in that word, and I just tried to look in another way. Then happened that I started my healing journey started to heal my mind. I was also looking for a solution about my trauma, because I was full of trauma. I remember my main problem, it was that I was full of anxiety, full of fear. I was feeling fear to do everything, also to take an underground, you can imagine, to stay alone, to do things by myself. I was always fear about literally everything. And so I tried many kind of therapy, but they didn't work for me. And then I discovered EMDR therapy, eye movement desensitization reprocessing. Basically, we use ocular movement to elaborate a traumatic experience. And I was curious. I discovered this therapy thanks to my psychotherapist school of specialization to become a psychotherapist. So I was like, they introduced this new kind of therapy that use a bilateral alternative stimulation to elaborate emotion related with traumatic experience, because when we have a trauma, the problem is the emotion connected with the trauma, not the episode by themselves. Everything, the episode is neutral. The problem is that the emotion that is connecting with the episode that create a problem to people, to a person. So I remember I was fascinated on that therapy, and I decided to try on myself because I was desperate at the time. I remember I was my mother just died. I was 32 years old, and I was literally desperate, full of symptoms physically and emotionally. So I was looking for a solution, also emotionally talking, psychologically talking. And so I got this therapy, and I started the therapy on myself. I went to a colleague, and I started to do this therapy to treat my trauma. A colleague was helping me. And so I did this therapy for 5 years, and literally changed my life, changed my personality. You can imagine now I live alone in Asia, in Copenhagen, and before, for me, it was something that I was dreaming about this life, but I didn't have the courage to be independent, to stand up by myself, to live alone. I told you, I got the fear to take underground, to stay alone, to live alone. I was full of fear. And now I can tell you that EMDR literally saved my life, saved my mind, and made me strong enough to hold all this journey, all the detox symptoms that I have been experiencing until now. Everything made me so strong to stay alone, to stay in the path alone, to be alone, to facing everything, all the symptoms alone. Thanks to EMDR. That's why I'm recording this video and also talking about how it's important, especially when you are in a detox path, in a raw vegan path, in a fruitarian path, also in breatharian path, in all this path that involving emotion, how is important that your mind is strong enough, how is important to do a proper therapy to help your mind, to support all the process, because it's an amazing process, but it's not always fun, it's not always a pleasure, you know. You go through many different things, and every day is different, and you need to be prepared for that. That's why my personal advice, I recommend everyone to do EMDR, especially if you are struggling, because we are in the same boat. Everyone has their own trauma, someone more, someone less, but have a strong mind. EMDR prepare you to have a strong mind so you can be more prepared while are you facing your detox symptom, for example, you know. Now I can tell you, after 5 years of facing my trauma, I'm a very strong person, I'm a very determined person. Everything, my mind is more focused. So of course raw food help the body, but you need to support the mind as well. And I just want to share this. Back to my story. So I start to try to find a solution for my physical problem, because during for 5 years EMDR therapist, I healed my mind, and so I was looking for a solution, and this is allowed me to be strong enough to continue to look a solution for my acne problem and my legs problem, and also I start to have to development as a lot of headache problem, sinus problem. I mean, everything was related with lymphatic circulation that was getting bad. They year by year, you know. Now I can tell you, before I didn't have any clue about that. Then I came to Copenhagen. I changed totally my life. I mean, I had a career when I was in Italy. I had been working like psychologist since many years, no, and then, but I wasn't happy. I had the makeup, I had a high heel, like I said already. I used to put tons of makeup on my skin, a lot of beautiful dressing, and now I'm here without shoes. Without makeup, without barefoot since 4 years. So I changed totally my life. Thanks to EMDR, I was proud enough to jump out from my comfort zone. So that's why I'm here talking about also this amazing therapy that saved my mind. Yes, so I came in Copenhagen, I remember 4 years ago, and all of my problem became worse because of the hot and humidity temperature. So my acne, I still have my acne. My swollen legs was literally incredible swollen, headache and sinus all the time. So I was desperate one more time. And but at the same time, I was like, maybe I need to do more exercise. So let's start to do more exercise. And you know, Western mentality. I was like, maybe I should come back to eat more animal products, like more because I was almost vegan at the time. Because in Copenhagen we have a lot of amazing vegan food. So, but at the time I was like, maybe I should eat more protein. I'm gonna start to training myself. Maybe I'm gonna move my lymphatic circulation and my legs will become better. Huge mistake now. I mean, I started to, after a long time that I haven't have any, I think maybe 6 months without any animal products. This was like almost I'm talking about 1 year, and now I can say 10 months ago when I start my raw vegan journey. So I remember 3 months before I had this thought about protein, and I started to eat more eggs. So coming back a little bit before, I used to have a kind of cooking show where I was like, I was making people prepare their own food, mostly was vegan, majority, no, it was a vegan program actually, worldwide cooking show, and in that program people, they had to prepare their own food from their country. And we were making a lot of video. We had a lot of such fun, but a lot of food, you know. So I was like eating like a crazy every single day, because I was like recording 3-4 days, 3-4 video a day, and this was make me also progressively more sick, you know, because I was eating too much starch, for example. And so I just one day I just decided to stop the program, because I was literally getting so sick that I barely could move, you know. So then I had this thought. I was like, maybe I need to move more my body. So let's introduce eggs in my diet, and let's do more exercise. Guys, you cannot imagine, my friends, I start to eat 2 eggs a day for 1 week, and after 1 week, my skin, I got a huge, insane reaction of my skin, and all of my acne problem became worse. So I was desperate one more time. After 1 week, my skin was totally burned. I will post a picture about that. Burn, painful. Sad. After 1 week, eating eggs. And so what I did, I stopped this, of course, and I started to follow a kind of Indian philosophy. I don't want to say the name because I'm not here to blame anyone and anything, you know. A kind of Indian medicine that tell you to eat, to do like a program, 21 days program, where basically you need to eat Indian food and you need to stay to eat in the morning 21 spoon. Okay, is a kind of progressively step, but you ended up eating 21 spoon of ghee, and this is of course is pure dairy products, pure mucus forming, and with Indian food, I mean, full of starch. I mean, bingo, we say in Italy, like, okay, I'm touching the bottom. Plus, you need to do a lot of massage, and the massage actually was good because was moving my circulation on my head, because my sinus problem and my headache day by day became worse, like my skin and like my legs. The only thing that I noticed is that according to that Indian philosophy, at the night time you need to eat like steamed veggie. And steamed veggie, I was noticed a thing, you know. Steamed veggie was like calming down, especially steamed green leaves, calming down my acne problem. And I was like, okay, so if I eat steam plus green leaves, my acne is better. There must be a solution. There must be like, maybe I'm close to the truth to solve my problem. So I start to think, to looking for a solution, to read YouTube. I start to find a solution. And what happened? At a certain point, I interrupt the treatment because the ghee was literally too much. It was pure dairy, pure mucus forming, and I was full of mucus until my head. I really was like, I had a headache every single day. I wake up with a headache, crying. I mean, when you have a headache, you cannot do literally anything. So I was one more time desperate with my acne, my headache. I couldn't move from my bed. I was like, I think I touched the bottom at the time. And this was, I'm talking about 1 year and 10 months ago when I started. So what I did, I interrupted the treatment because I was like, this is not gonna work. I'm gonna get in worse with this ghee. I'm gonna get in worse with this treatment. So let's stop everything one more time and just think about steamed veggie. Think about that steamed veggie was the only thing that was make you getting better a little bit, you know? And the massage because you're moving, you know. I had this Indian head massage that was helping me actually. And so I was like, okay, let's keep in mind this and let's continue the research. At a certain point, my body was so full and so tired and so full of starch, I would say now, that I did, without have any kind of knowledge, 3 days dry fasting. Now I know that I did dry fasting. At the time, I was just follow my body, and my body told me at a certain point, please stop eat, stop drink, stop do anything, just let me rest. So I did 3 days dry fasting, lay down on my bed, sleeping mostly of the day. Literally sleeping mostly of the day. I remember I had Manao Maprao and I was just be able to feed my dogs, and that's it. Then the first day I wake up and my body was craving papaya. And you can imagine, I was almost eating pure starch and mucus forming food like Indian food is for almost 1 year. No veggie, no fresh veggie, nothing, because the Indian philosophy tell you that for my body constitution, the raw food is not good. So I was just follow that style, and I was like eating every day cooked food, mostly Indian food. So bread, Indian bread, as you can imagine. That is an amazing food. I mean, I love Indian culture. One more time, I'm not here to blame anyone. I'm just sharing my story, my reality. So I love Indian people. I love their culture. I love their food. I cannot say the Indian food is not good, but I mean, it was super mucus forming, and I mean, but one more time, thanks to what I did, I'm here, so I'm grateful. My heart is full of gratitude for everything that I did, because I wouldn't be here without have done this. So one more time, I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm just here to share. So the first day I wake up and I was craving papaya. After 1 year, and I was like surprised, but at the same time I was feeling so thirsty. I was feeling so like papaya, and now papaya became one of my favorite fruits. Anyway, I remember that day I went to a fruit shop and I just ordered papaya and I eat papaya, and it was amazing. I was feeling amazing. I was like, oh, this is food. After almost 2 years that I haven't had any fruits, any raw veggie at all, you can imagine. And I was feeling like a new person already without have knowledge. And since that time, my body asked me just for raw food. So I became raw vegan straight away without be vegan, even vegan before, because I can tell you that I was omnivore. I was mostly vegan, but eating sometimes eggs and fish. No meat since 10 years, but fish and eggs. And no dairy products, okay. Not included the ghee experience, but that I did to try to heal. Not for pleasure, of course. But anyway, I jumped from omnivore style to straight away to raw vegan style, just because I was following my body. But at the first time, of course, I was like scared. I was like, I had a lot of question on myself. I questioning myself, like I'm doing right, what is going on? Because now I can tell you that the dry fasting helped me to reset my body. So I did a kind of reset of my body. That's why with 3 days dry fasting, I reset it, everything, and my body was asking me for the real food. Yeah, so I remember I was like fully raw for 2 months straight at the time. So now I'm talking about 1 year and 10 months ago. I eat, it was, I remember I start November 2nd. In this November is gonna be 2 years, so November 2nd, 2 years ago. And I was fully raw until January, the fall of January. At the time I was still eating nuts, oil, and a little salt, Himalaya salt. I was eating a lot of salad, raw salad, and fruits. My diet was like fruits in the morning and lunch, and a lot of salad in the lunch and also in the evening. So I was eating a lot. And I started to lose weight, of course, and I was already skinny. I remember I was 44, and I started losing weight. I will post some picture of my journey about my skinniness, because I don't want people they get scared about that. I want to tell you guys, and you will see, I really touched the bottom of my skinness, really the bottom with my journey. But I'm here at that point after such a short time because I did this, because I was strong enough to hold all the process and to hold all the weight that I lose. And people comment that was telling me, oh, you will die, you became anorexia, you are anorexia already. And me, I was like strong enough because I knew what I was doing. And so I just went for my path. But because I was strong enough mentally, you know, because I did EMDR, that made me really strong mentally. I will share my picture of my skinness in the next video when I will talk about more deep about my juice feast that I did. Anyway, I just want to share this because I know many people are scared to become too much skinny because of the people comment as well, you know, sometimes. But I'm telling you, my friends, that always just if you are ready to touch the bottom and to become like a ghost of skeletons, in this way you can heal completely, because the body has to release. You're not gonna lose weight. You are just releasing all the waste out from your body. So it's not weight, is waste. And your body is smart enough. He knows what to do. He knows what she's doing. So you don't need to be scared at all, even if it can be a scare process, because also other people scare you because they don't have any clue. And also in our society, it's more acceptable to be kind of fat than to be skinny, because of because when people, this came from a kind of history during the war. Many people died because they didn't have enough food. So that's why in our culture, if you see someone that is fat, he's not gonna die. If you see someone that is skinny, oh my gosh, she's gonna die. But this came from the history, because of the war, you know. And people was literally died because of they didn't have any food. So that's why it became traumatic, you know. It's a kind of trauma generation. To be skinny is dangerous, to be fat is like, okay, it's safe. But I mean, you need just to keep in mind this. And from my experience, only if you really touch the bottom and if you are ready to lose everything, to destroy completely your body, okay, if you do that, you can really heal completely, from my experience. Back to my story, I forgot one important thing. Before getting very super sick with my headache, my ankles, I used to work in the market before start this worldwide cooking show, the cooking program show that I was doing. I was working in the market selling hummus here in Copangan. And as you can imagine, in the market is full of Italian food. So I had these two friends that was make me amazing Italian food in the market. And so I was eating a lot of starch and I was getting more sick on my headache, strong headache, sinus problem. And I remember I have a friend that he was fruitarian already when I was working in the market. Antonio now is one of my best friends here in the island, and he inspired me to change my diet. And I'm here in this journey also because of him. So my heart is full of gratitude for him. I will remember and I will keep him in my heart forever, because basically he was my first teacher. So he remember, he's also from Italy, and he was on this journey before me, and he gave me while I was working in the market, so exactly 1 year before changing my diet, doing the 3 days dry fasting that reset my body and everything. He gave me Arnold Ehret book, Mucus-Free Diet. And I remember I was working in the market full of starch, full of headache, because he saw me sick and he told me, you must be fruitarian, you must become fruitarian, you must become raw, you are destroying your body. Read this book. So I was like, I read that book, and I wasn't ready. I was full of fear. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. You are crazy. You wanna me become fruitarian, eating just fruits, eating raw. And what about the protein? What about, I was like brainwashing as well from the normal philosophy of life about the protein. I was like, I'm not crazy. I'm gonna die if I do that. I was like, just not ready, you know. And I reject completely the book. And I remember I did the opposite. I started to eat more starch. Plus, I started the cooking show program. So I did the opposite because I was full of fear, and I just couldn't accept. It was not just the right moment. But the seeds was planted already in my mind, because I remember another part of me was like very interesting about the topics, and was like, maybe it's gonna work. But I wasn't ready. My mind wasn't ready. I was like, no. But I had always this little voice, inner voice inside me that was like, tell me, maybe it's the solution. You never tried this kind of extreme, let's say, things. Maybe it's the solution. You try everything already. You know everything already. I mean, you try protein, you try keto diet, you try to eat just carbohydrate, you try to eat just meat, you try everything. So maybe that is the solution. But I wasn't ready, so I just did the opposite. And I remember when I started to be raw after the 3-day reset, I was like, I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I didn't have any knowledge. And I was like, oh my gosh, I remember the book that I read 1 year before, and Antonio, of course, was still in the island because he's living in Copangan like me. So I called him and I was like, Antonio, please, I shared with him what was going on at the time, and he told me, welcome to the club. And I was like, Antonio, I don't know what I'm doing, I need some help, just give me the book. And he told me, of course, read again. So I read the Arnold Ehret, the Mucus-Free Diet, one more time. And after exactly 1 year, all the things that he was sharing in the book, that is a very strong book, and you need really to be ready for that, I was like, I'm gonna try. I just wanna try, because I don't have also other idea. I don't have other, I cannot choose. I just wanna try. I don't have any other possibility. I'm gonna try. So I started to follow what she was doing, what she said in the book, and I just was keeping raw. Then I remember I contact, because at a certain point I was feeling I need a guide. I contact Luciano Giannazza, that is very nice man, and he translates in Italy language all Arnold Ehret book. And I remember I had a video call with him. He supported me a lot. He told me, go ahead with this. You are in the right path. You need just to go ahead. So at that time it was like December. So I was fully raw since 2 months. And then my body spontaneously just asked me to jump in a juice feast. And at that time I met also another man, that he was like a Dr. Moore's coach. So he introduced me to Dr. Moore's philosophy. I remember I was in my first juice feast since 1 week. And he was like a kind of guide me. So I had all these beautiful angels all the time when I needed, during my path, looking after me. So I was really very lucky all the time. All the time, the life and the universe gave me what I needed, and it's still doing right now. So I'm very lucky, I know. So then what happened? Then I met here in the island after 1 week that I was juicing, the first time that I tried Juice Feast. I met a coach, a detox coach here in Copangan, and I asked her to read my eyes. So she is an iridologist. She got Dr. Moore's first level, so that's why I start also to study and to read, to watching video about Dr. Moore's, and everything was resonate on me. The fact that we are frugivores and not omnivores, and all the illness start because we are human beings are eating the wrong diet, species specific, because according to our body, how our body shape, how our body is, our gut is definitely not like omnivores people. Our gut is not like for example, our gut and our teeth is not the same like dogs' gut and dogs' teeth, or bears' gut and bears' teeth, like omnivore species specific. So for me, was like the main point that was resonate with me, because the body, we can lie with our talking, we have a talk. But the body cannot lie. So if we doesn't have the same teeth of our dogs that are omnivores, for example, or bears that are omnivores, or tiger that are carnivores, or cat that are carnivores, or lion that are carnivores, for example, that will be something. This will mean something. For me, it was like very logical. I don't have these long teeth to grab meat, to destroy to eat another animals. Our teeth and our gut are more resonated, are similar, more like with fruitarian, frugivore species specific. So for me, it was like the key was like, oh yes, and came from Dr. Moore's first. Dr. Moore's was my second teacher after Arnold Ehretz. I was like, this is logical. Oh my gosh, makes really sense. And according to him, all the illness that we experience came from a wrong diet, because we are eating not like our species specific as frugivores must eat. We are eating animals, and we are not designed to eat animals at all, because if you another thing that was resonate a lot of me is that milk, if you analyze the mother milk, contain just a very little quantity of protein, 1.1%, 1% and a half of protein. So compared to, for example, omnivores, species-specific animals, and carnivores. So that means that we don't need so much protein to survive. We really don't need so much protein. Also, I mean, mother milk cannot lie. This is natural. So that's why for me it was like, oh my gosh, this is true. For me it resonated a lot. So I was just, and this was calming down a lot, and was just the motivation to keep going with the path. So I start my coach. So this woman, iridologist, read my eyes, and I didn't share the problem with her because I wanted to see if I knew my physical problem, and I want just to see if the iridologist sense was right and resonate for me. And me, I was like, okay, let's see, and so I can decide if I can incorporate iridologist in my philosophy or not. According to iridology science, people that study iridology, they just read your eyes and they can tell you through your eyes which problem you are suffering from, physical problems and emotional problems as well. So in your eyes, we can find the trauma as well, because in all the people eyes, in our eyes, our little piece of eyes, in our eyes there is our organs. So people that study iridologists, they can read people problem in their eyes because we find, like in our feet, our organs. So they can tell you the state of your organs, each organs, and lymphatic circulation as well, everything is written in your eyes. And so I remember when she told me what she saw in my eyes, I was impressed because I didn't share anything with her, and she was exactly telling me my problem. So I was like, okay, this is resonate on me because she is right. I mean, I know my problem and she is just sharing with me my problem. So this is something that I want to incorporate in my journey and resonate a lot for me. So I just trust her and I just continue my first juice feast. That was the more difficult juice feast, where I did 53 days on juice, basically orange and parsley. And it was the more challenge, of course, because it was the first one. Then after 53 days on orange and parsley, I remember and where I was taking herbs, of course, supplements, I lost more than 14 kilos and I was alone in the process, but this was making me more strong, of course. Then I was eating for 6 months, no cheating, just plain food, like fully raw, plus a little bit more nuts and seeds. But fully raw, and I gained back all the weight, of course. But then I jump in another. After 20 days, I remember I did other No, after a few days, I remember I did other 20 days only orange. Then I was eating 6 months. Then I jumped in my second long juice feast that literally changed my life. I had a kind of switch after this long juice feast. I did 108 days on juice feast, and I did because I was reading a lot, watching a lot of video of John Rose, and always he says 90 days the number. So I wanted to challenge myself and try what he said. So I did 90 days on juice, and plus I broke my fist 100 days because of the magic number. So I choose exactly when break my fist, because for me at the time, eating and not eating was like I had literally a click after 90 days on juice. And for me, eating, not eating was exactly the same. I could be liquidarian for the rest of my life, but I wasn't ready mentally. So I stopped it. And I was eating for 3 months. Of course, I lose less weight and I gain weight more quickly. And after that juice feast, I was like fully fruitarian with herbs sometimes, and only rocket. Salad was not interesting on me anymore. And then after 3 months, here we are. My body was asking me again to do juice feast, and so today is my day 8 on liquidarian diet, I would say. Yeah. So here we are. This is my story, and I wanna let you know, guys, that I'm gonna do other 3 video. The first video I'm gonna share more in details my first juiced feast, orange and parsley, 53 days. The first one that were like the more challenge for me mentally, especially mentally, because I lost a lot of weight, because people was like commenting me in a very negative way, like you will die, you are anorexia, blah blah blah. And EMDR was like helped me a lot mentally, the therapy, to stay in the path, to be strong and to go ahead alone, literally alone, against everyone, because everyone was like, what are you doing? You are destroying yourself. And I was like, I know what I'm doing. Also, first because I had a coach, and second because I was studying a lot at the time, Dr. Morse, John Rose, Arnold Derret, and watching other people doing that. So I was knowledging myself. So another thing that I want to underline with you is that knowledge yourself. Know what you are doing. Don't jump without knowledge. I mean, you need to know what you are doing, because sometimes people around you can be tough, and you need to be sure about yourself. So make your mind strong with EMDR therapy if you can, and if you want, and if you feel. Plus, knowledge yourself. This is my advice. And I'm gonna share also the experience that I had and I have been doing with gravity colonic in another video that I discovered, fortunately for myself, I discovered during my first juice feast on my day 20, where I was struggling a lot with detox symptoms and stuff, and the gravity colonic saved literally my life. I'm telling you guys, I could not be at my level after such a short time, and I couldn't keep my juice feast, my long juice feast, 108 days without cleaning the gut. Also because I wasn't even vegan before, so my gut was full of waste. And I will share with you, if you wanna see, I will share with you in another video. I will do one video with the release that I had for in each juice feast, and you will be impressed. I'm just telling you that I released, so thanks to gravity colonic and the parasite cleanings that I did, of course. I could feel more than 2 or 3 full jar of tape worms, long and disgusting. And this is also another life-changing, I'm telling you. I will do another video, I will share a video where I'm talking about an interview that that Sadhu, the woman who trained me to give to myself, who teach me how to give to myself gravity colonic, because now I have a gravity colonic unit set up in my toilet, so I can, at the beginning I start with her, she was giving me gravity colonic session, then she teach me how to do, I did a training with her. So one more time, train yourself, don't improvise this, but get the knowledge, train yourself, learn from people, but in a serious way, you know, it's not a joke. So she's a certificate gravity colonic therapist. She learned in New York in a clinic, and she's working in Copenhagen. She's the only therapist that we have in Copenhagen, and she training myself to give colonic to myself. So I set up the unit, and now I did more than 250 gravity colonic section until now, and I can literally tell you that it saved my life. It's life change. To clean the gut, all the illness start from the gut. If you clean the gut, you win. This is my experience. And I see also when other people, other vegan people, raw vegan come back to eat meat. There is, I mean, I'm not against anything, you know. I'm a very open-minded person. I have a lot of omnivore friends. I respect everyone in this planet. For me, everyone can do whatever they want. But I'm just feeling sad because a lot of raw vegan people, maybe they just want to stay in the path, but they cannot stay in the path because they are not mentally strong, because they don't elaborate the traumatic experience. That's why, one more time, get EMDR therapy to become strong, because this can be literally useful for you during your journey. And second, they don't clean, they underestimate how is important to have a clean gut, clean colon, to be able to stick in the journey. So that's why for me these two tools was like a complementary and the herbs as well. Herbs, gravity colonic, EMDR therapy to become strong, juice feast. For me this was like the key. Plus I did during my journey a parasite cleanse. This is also very important. I did 6 times the turpentine protocol to kill worms and parasites, and this is also for me. Plus I was taking herbs from Dr. Morse, Parasite G, Parasite M. I'm still taking that, and I did for 6 months straight. And plus I never cheat. And I can tell you, this is another life change, because sometimes people, they come back to eat meat also because they haven't killed the worms. And after a while, if you don't clean the worms, they ask you to be fed. So it's not the body, it's just the worms that ask you to be fed. And that's why people, they struggling and they come back to eat meat, and then they think, I'm feeling better. You are feeling better just because you cover everything, and just because you just stop the detox, but not because of you, because the worms are very strong. They can stay alive for years, and this is sometimes people, they didn't know, you know, they don't know. I'm telling you, I'm just sharing this because I want to help, not because I want to judge or whatever. I just want to help and maybe give some inspiration. Maybe you are struggling with something and you don't know why, so that's why I just want to share for help. So this was my secret. Plus I'm gonna, like I told you, I'm gonna do a separate video, one video for each feast that I did. So it's gonna be one video for orange and parsley juice, plus with the release that I release in that time, I'm gonna show you all the page and my body, how I destroyed completely my body. And I'm gonna do another video sharing my 108 days on Juice Feast with all the release that I had. And I'm gonna share, I'm gonna keep update you about the third Juice Feast that I am in. Yeah, so oops, a coconut fell down. No, I don't have coconut. Okay, on my head. Okay, everything is fine. Yeah, I will do that soon, but with this video I just wanted to share my story and say one more time to Antonio because I forgot to tell you that thanks to Antonio, I'm here, that she gave me Arnold the Red Book. And of course I say, I apologize to him many times. I'm still apologizing him now because I didn't believe him at the first time. But you know, everyone is ready when is ready, when is the time to be ready for him or her, you know. So that's why it was not my time. But then after 1 year, it was my time. I was ready. So here we are. Anyway, I send you love. I hope you enjoyed the video and it was useful for you. And I see you next video. And if you wanna follow my adventure and my fruitarian path and my detox path, I have a Facebook page, a fruitarian psychologist in Copenhagen, where I'm sharing this, for example, my experience with detox, fruitarian, and liquidarian path. And I'm sharing beautiful place in Copenhagen, and now I'm also in Samui because I am in Samui. But anyway, I'm sharing my life here in Thailand. Okay, I send you love, and I see you soon. Bye.